the playoffs, and what an exciting team. What an exciting team to cover South Range. What a tough team, a traditional team. And my first thought is when we saw that 7 seniors, it was like slackjawing.
Right.
But you know what? They've beaten some really good teams this year. They've beaten Perennial Power, Kirtland. So you know what? They must have a fantastic amount of talented young guys.
Absolutely.
And we see some of these guys warm up. And this Trent Taylor, he's a defensive end, tight end, sophomore, 6'4", 200 pounds. A senior linebacker, running back, Jaden Studio. He's 6 foot 201. I mean, you could go down this roster and you see some studs.
Right.
And then we just saw them do their pregame and their warm-ups, and it sure looked like they had long, athletic guys. They weren't particularly big when it comes to weight, but they were big when it comes to being 6'3", 6'4", lean, long, very impressive-looking guys. And you know what? They beat Kirtland. And I don't know how that game went. I didn't watch the game on film. I should have got my hands on it. But they kind of beat them like a drum.
Right.
Because Kirtland doesn't lose regular season games. And when they do, they're usually not losing by 20. And I think they beat them, was it 24-6? So this Perry team is a school team. They must be very athletic. But they're going to have to meet the tradition here of our area of South Range. And I think South Range, I just feel if they could play their brand of football in this game, they're going to have a real advantage. But they have to come out. They can't come out the way they did the last few weeks. We talked about that in this power hour.
Right.
They came out, I guess, in a lull the first couple minutes of the last couple games. They got to come out ready to play and take the fight to Perry. If they do, I think they have a great shot in this one. But if they're going to come out and jab like a boxing match and not come out and throw some haymakers, they could find themselves. These guys got athletes. Perry got athletes. So they're going to have to match. It's a tough matchup, but you know what? I think that the experience, the tradition, the coaching, and the history is on South Range's side. So they're going to have to use that to their advantage. Dig down deep. The coach just said take him to the deep waters. And that's hey, he's going to have to take him to the deep waters.
It's always good. We can talk to the head ball coach just moments before the game. We're about 24 minutes or so before kickoff. We're going to head down to the field for the first time to Chris Colucci. Chris, what's transpiring down there?
I can tell you what, Perry has some big guys on their team. They're tall, they look athletic, they're big. They're what you want in a football team. As a South Range, we know them, we love them. They're legit. They're South Range. We know what they're all going to be about. Got to talk to Coach Rock right before the game. He's pumped. He's amped up, ready to roll. As of the coin toss, South Range won the toss. They elected to defer. So Perry will defer to the second half. So Perry's going to receive the ball as we start this game, and South Range will receive it in the second half. Back up to you guys.
Weather-wise, Chris, before we let you go, weather-wise, what are we looking at? What's the field conditions? Is it raining down there? How hard?
It's not raining at all right now. It's a little bit windy. The wind's heading south. The flags on the field goal posts they're whipping pretty hard. It's slick down here. So if you don't got good cleats or if you got worn out cleats, you're gonna have a hard time of getting traction down here.
Hey, I got a question for you, Chris. When you're down there seeing them, because up here, they look long. They look like Perry looks like they have a lot of tall, long guys. Look really athletic guys. Is that how it looks down there?
Yeah, you're 100% right. Slenderman. They look tall, long, and lengthy. I mean, they're athletic guys. Talked about Power Hour, number 12. He's just, he got bigger from last year when we played him. They got athletes. It's gonna be a dogfight tonight. If both teams are very respected either way. It's gonna be a dogfight for both these teams.
So you talk about, and Chris talks about he got bigger from last year. It's because Chris was on this field, not this field, but across the field from these very Perry Pirates last year in the regional finals. South Range winning by 3 scores, and really had complete control of that game. But it's the physicality that everybody talks about South Range that sets them apart from everybody. Because at the end of the day, when you talk South Range, when you are going up against the Raiders, nobody except for Green has been able to contend with them for 4 quarters. And I think that's what it's going to boil down to. Again, we're referencing the power hour, but guys, to stay in this game for 4 quarters, the Raiders are going to have to start fast and finish faster if they want to win this game. But Perry is going to have to keep up with that.
Yes, and we talked about this earlier. These playoffs, South Range has started slow. They're going to have to not do that this time, and they're going to have to play some fundamental defense. They're going to have to tackle sound, and they'll have to play the way South Range plays. They'll be fine as long as they can do that.
Coach, from your standpoint, when you're in the locker room right now, it's 20 minutes before game time, regional final. Some of these seniors could be listening to their coach. One of them is listening to their coach speak for the last time in a pregame situation. What are you extending to your players? What are you talking about in this one?
Well, you got to remind people. It's like a boxing match. Hey, you got to remind people who they are. You know what I mean? Who are we? And then what brought us here? This isn't by luck. This isn't by chance. You willed yourself. You had a great season. You have a great program. You come from a great community. You have great families. You know what I mean? You're talking about that, and you're reminding the kids, who are we? Who the hell are we?
Yeah.
And you know what brought us here? And then you know what? I think that one thing that I know, Rocks, you could tell by talk, we ain't coming out slow. And it's not about throwing bombs and stuff. It's about being intense. When the game starts, if you're not intense, then you're at a real disadvantage. If you're not going to come out in this game and you're not going to be ready to throw some haymakers, when I say that, playing intense, playing proud, running to the football, paying attention to the snap count. I mean, you have to be sharp when this game starts, because if you're not, Perry has athletes and they could trounce them. So I think that this game, you have to come out ready to go. I think Rock has to focus on that. And the way they came out in the second half last week was not how they came out at the beginning of the game.
Right.
Those are like two different teams that we saw.
Yeah. We've seen that with all the playoff games so far. The second half, they're a different animal. And like we said, they wear teams out. So that second half, it's just a different
You said that today too on Power Hour, and I think that's a big thing. I think that, when the game starts, it might look like they're throwing jabs at each other. They're not.
Right.
It's just the hitting is going on, and there's not. I remember watching Marion Local and Kirtland last year in the state final. Well, someone might say that game was boring. The game was not boring. That was a knife fight.
I loved it.
That was like an absolute bloodfest.
Yeah.
And watching high school football, you appreciate that, because there's a lot of the fierce blocking and the tenacious tackling going on. Mm-hmm. This has to be that kind of South Range, in order to win this game, has to make it that kind of game. They have to come out tenacious. They have to come out very enthusiastic. Because Perry, hey, let's face it, South Range, for as good as the schedule as they've played, playing Hubbard, playing Girard, playing Poland, playing Struthers, playing these teams, they haven't seen, I think, a team like Perry when it comes to athletes all over the place.
No, I'm with you.
And it's just, this is going to be a real challenge, a real test. I think South Range is up for it. There's no doubt about it, but we're going to find out real soon. And Coach Rock is going to have his hands full tonight.
One thing we wanted to make sure that we keep an eye on throughout the broadcast, we'll go down to Chris. Well, I'm sure he's going to try and get as much information as he can, is what is the status of Blake Ewart, the starting running back for South Range, the senior running for nearly 2,000 yards on the season. When you look at that in a game like it is tonight, whether it's raining or not, it's been raining all day. The turf is slick, and obviously you're going to get a heavy dose of Aiden Dominguez. I think we all expect that. But how much are we going to see at 26? Do you think that kind of enters the mind of the fan base here? Does it enter the mind of Perry, who no doubt knows that Blake Ewart was hurt in last week's game because he didn't finish?
It has to be. It has to enter their mind. I mean, you were 1,934 yards and 21 touchdowns. But like you said, Dominguez, 569 yards and 14 scores. So it has to enter their mind. But at the same time, I think Perry's probably just focused on whoever you put back there. It doesn't matter. We're going to put our heads down. We're going to get a helmet on whoever it is. And as far as South Range goes, I don't think that they're going to miss a beat as far as their mental preparation. Not that Ewart isn't a big part of that team, but they're going to go into this and do what they have to do.
This pregame brought to you by our friends at Mill Creek Metro Parks. Thanks to Brian Tonar and the whole crew over there for their proud support all season long on YSN. Fans, just to bring you up to speed, if you are watching right now on Facebook or on social media, you will switch over at the end of the pregame broadcast to ysnlive.com/live. You'll be able to get the full game audio-only version of all 4 games on our site. We're just trying to get you out there and get people stirred up for these games and represent the Valley the way that we can only do. We know that there's a lot of places tonight that you can listen and watch tonight's broadcast, and we are so happy and so honored that you're sticking with us. Andy Hake, Gary Altizer, Chris Colucci, and myself, DJ Yoakley, which certainly made the drive so you either could listen in the stands or you could listen from the comfort of your own home. So thank you so much for making us a part of your night here, and we wish you, without a doubt, a happy Thanksgiving next week. Gentlemen, thank you so much, as always, for being a part of this. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, more on the Division 5 Regional Championship here in South, or with South Range and Perry from Twinsburg.
Hi, this is Zell Bush.
Hi, this is Tom Flynn.
Hi, this is Steve Rossetto.
Hi, this is Ryan Miller.
Hi, this is Rich Sakui from WRS Wealth Advisors.
With our combined 80 years of experience,
WRS Wealth Advisors are the area's premier wealth and retirement specialists. Call 330-965-0370 to learn more about our individual and corporate financial planning services.
Or visit WRSwealth.com.
Go Raiders.
Go Dogs.
Go Cats. Go Dogs. Go Tigers.
You're not waiting to see what the world has in store for you. It's more about what you have in store for the world. All you need is the opportunity. All you need are the resources of a large university and the advantages of a personalized academic setting where you can experience new worlds in the arts and sciences, business, and education and make them your own. We are where you shape your future. We are Youngstown State University, and proud.
We believe expectations are made to be exceeded. At the new Toyota of Warren, it's about more than just getting a great deal. It's about service you can count on and a friendship you can trust. Year after year, we've done what we do best. We've gone the extra mile so you could too. Because we know it's just not about buying a new car. It's the start of a new adventure. Toyota of Warren, driven by you.
Coca's Pizza, your high school football headquarters. Come to pregame with half-off select appetizers in our dining room starting at 5 p.m. Also want to stay for the game? We'll be playing it live. That's Coca's Pizza. We serve it hot.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, from Twinsburg High School. DJ Yoakley, Andy Hake, as well as Gary Altizer and Chris Colucci with you down on the sidelines. Ladies and gentlemen, it is the Division 5 Regional Championship. Two teams very well acquainted with each other, and the history goes back deep, and you don't have to go very far to see the last time these two teams played. South Range, of course, winning that game last year, going on to win the state championship here in Division 5. We've got 4 games for you tonight. The Division 2 Regional Championship, the Division 3 Regional Championship, 4 and 5, and the Valley, once again, well represented, as is YSN. Gentlemen, when you think about football in the Valley, how it has continued to soar over the last decade, 2 decades, and the state championships we've been able to bring back. What do you equate to that? Coach, we'll start with you.
Well, the national anthem's playing. So, gentlemen, we're going to honor our country like never before. America first.
America first, indeed.
Well,
that snuck up on me.
I still love the national anthem. You know, hey, that's the best, isn't it? Better than any fight song. But no, you know what? The Valley is had a great run here this year in the playoffs, and well represented here in the playoffs. And historically the Valley has done well in the playoffs. But at the same time, there's some traditional powers, and South Range is one of them that are consistently in the big games. And you know what? I know they won a state title last year, and every year you don't get that. That was their first state title, but they've been significant for a long time, being in regional championships, state semifinals. Sometimes you get knocked out in the first round.
Yeah.
That's how it goes. But being involved in the conversation year after year after year, I think that, I mean, really, and I know Perry has had some tremendous teams. I know they played Poland a few years ago.
Sure.
I've seen them through the years. But if you're talking consistent basis and tradition, true tradition that runs deep and long, South Range has it as good as anybody in our area. Best of luck today to Struthers. Best of luck. Who else?
Ursuline and Hoban.
Plays. Hoban. I don't know if Hoban, like we talked earlier, I don't know if there's a whole lot of luck needed here tonight for Hoban to win. I think the Ursuline and Chardon game is going to be a tremendous game. It's going to come down to will and mistakes. Same thing with Struthers. I think Struthers and Canton South is a very unique game. Neither one of them are really used to being in those games, a regional championship game. But best of luck to those teams today. But I think that we made it to the best game on the docket.
Yes,
we
I
made
think
it
so.
to the best game.
I think you're right.
I'm down with that. Dave Balestrino saying, can't sit yet, Andy. Or what is this? Can I sit? Can I sit yet? National anthem, maybe?
Right. I mean, yeah, you can take a seat there, Mr. Balestrino. You can take a seat right now. He's a good dude. He's a good dude at Ridge, man. Balestrino. Hey, his son's a tremendous player.
Oh, I love
wide
him.
receiver.
Huge.
Oh, that dude's
He's going to be
That dude will
awesome.
be one of the better receivers in the area next
Agreed.
year.
You know a guy that has tremendous info for us right now?
Who's
That guy
that?
right next to you, Gary Altizer.
Give it to him, Gary. Give it to him.
Okay, 364 days ago, South Range beat Perry 49-21. For the Pirates, Jaden Studio had 206 yards rushing last week against Garrettsville Garfield. It put him over 1,000 yards for the season. Quarterback Walter Moses. The kid has only had 43 incompletions on the year. He's 115 for 158 for 1,918 yards and 23 touchdowns.
Jeez, oh man, take us to the promised land, Moses.
Absolutely. Braden Richards and Luke Savon both have 35 catches each. Richard 587 yards, Savon 754. And Richards is also a threat in the special teams game. He had 2 punt returns for touchdowns last week. He is a state-level track star.
Dude, in these stats you're saying, Garrettsville's good.
Yes, that was an undefeated Garfield team.
They didn't beat Garrettsville, like dismantled everybody during the year. There wasn't many games that they had to play this year. Right?
Absolutely.
So with Perry doing that was so impressive. Go ahead, give him hell.
Yeah, Perry hangs his hats on its defense, though. It's not just the offense. They've held 9 teams to single digits, and only one team, which is Geneva, scored 20 points on them. For the Raiders, quarterback Tristan Toy has thrown for 1,262 yards and 10 touchdowns to go along with 11 interceptions, 961 yards on the ground and 16 touchdowns.
Jeez,
Blake Ewert, 1,934 yards and 21 touchdowns. Aiden Dominguez, 569 on the ground, 14 touchdowns. And Gavin Nagy and Brady Crumbacher both each have 30 catches on the season.
So South Range is really a run-heavy team. I mean, the guy's throwing for 1,200 yards. I understand that. But when you're talking about playing week 15, we're week 15? What are we
This is
at?
14.
We're on week 14. Yeah.
Okay, well, if you just do the math, 14 divided by, 1,200 yards.
Yeah.
You're a little bit less than 100 yards a game.
Yeah.
But that's their
How many-
game is to run the ball, and they
Yes.
want to play physical football. They want to play field position. They want to play a strong run defense. They're a traditional high school football team, South Rangers, and they're as good. I mean this. I say this all the time. When anybody asks me, I've been coaching a long time. South Range plays anybody in our area. They can give them a game. You know,
Right.
I think Perry has these skill guys though that could cause them all kind of heck.
Well, you just take the 3. You take Toy, Ewert, Dominguez, add up their yards together. You're like 3,500 yards.
So many yards.
I mean, in 14 games, and doesn't count any other yards anyone else ran for.
That's amazing. It's actually amazing. And you know who they played.
Yeah.
You know who
Yeah,
they played.
exactly.
Traditional
The
tough
NE8,
schools in our area. In our
A
area.
Division II Green team that's still in the playoffs. They're fighting for a Final Four spot. 3
Look at
divisions up.
Maslin tonight. Green and
Yes,
Maslin.
yes.
So it could. I mean, listen, if Green beats Maslin.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, how good does that Raider, even in loss, how good does that look that they're on the schedule? So
Well, here they come, and they look like they're full of pea and vinegar here.
yeah,
They're coming out. No, they're coming out, and they're ready to go.
These boys are fired up and ready to roll. Coach Rock is pumping them up. Tom Buckley's leading the charge. Here they come.
I love having a sideline reporter.
Hey, this is nice. Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie to you.
It's awesome. I mean, we got Principal Mr. Rowan down here rooting them on. And Coach Rock come flying past me. It's awesome.
Raiders will.
This is the best thing you've ever done with YSN.
Well, we've done some things for.
Well, you're doing it, so it's the best thing they've
There
done,
it is.
right? You're doing it. You're doing a good job down there, man.
Just try not to get suited up in that 58 by halftime.
Don't do
all right?
anything illegal down there. Don't do
gonna be
anything that's going to cost them.
It's going to be so hard for me not to put on a uniform. I mean, I'm just going to rip 87 off right here. I'm at the goal line. I'm going to rip 87 off and put it on and go out.
This
If you
is gonna
get
be
the
fun.
itch, you can pick us up some of that barbecue down there that smells real good. If you get the
does.
itch.
I'll do
The
it just for you, Hank.
Raiders,
My man.
The Raiders will be in their white uniforms with their burgundy and gold trim on the shoulders, burgundy numbers with the golden outline, the burgundy pants, of course, the signature burgundy helmets with the golden face mask. Perry will be in their red uniforms. They're not out here yet, so I don't know what else. I just know they had red jerseys on. I think they had red pants as well, if I'm not mistaken, in their white helmets.
They came out in red, didn't they?
Were they red helmets?
No, they're all red, though. They're all red. They're uniforms, I'm saying.
I think they're red and then white
Yeah,
helmets, right?
okay,
White lids.
yeah.
I think, unless they've got the that two helmet scenario going on that some of
You
these
know,
teams
growing
have.
up, I used to think to myself, South Range is such blah uniforms, blah helmets, blah everything.
Don't let Coach Yeagley hear that.
No, but that's like that's kind of the magic of them. They take the focus. It's like Penn State. The focus
That's
isn't
it.
on the
Tradition.
individual. The focus is on the team.
I will tell you a quick.
And we don't need to have insignias. We don't need to have all kind of fancy, stickers and all that bullshit stuff. No. It's like that's part of their armor. That's
Yep.
part of who they are. That's part of what makes them them.
The funniest.
It's about the team. It's about the team.
Tradition?
It's a Bo Schembechler. It's
well,
about
did
the
you
team.
know? Did you know that there are no single digits on the South Range roster?
Oh,
Starts
yeah?
with 10, and it goes to 89, I think. So, and that's because Coach Yeagley doesn't believe in anybody doing anything
Doing a
by
number one,
themselves.
yep.
So, I've heard of Crestview. They have the number 1 retired in their locker room, so nobody can ever wear it. I dig that. I love that. But it's a difficult situation because nowadays every single kid wants single-digit numbers.
I don't even want to get into it.
Yeah. So, but a story from last year before the state championship, everybody was just enthralled with Ironton and the traditions that
Yeah.
Ironton had, and nobody talked about South Range.
But Ironton got beat like a drum in that game.
They sure did.
And it's not being mean to Ironton because they do have rich tradition.
They do.
They have every bit as good as tradition. Well, here comes the Pirates. Now, I'll tell you this. South Range came out with a different sense of heroic belonging that I haven't seen the first 3 games.
Yep.
They came out. They came out like a team on a mission.
Yeah.
Like someone just gave them cut their apple before the game started.
Yeah. I don't think that we're
When you
going to
see
see them
these-
start slow.
You see some of these long dudes here at Perry, and they are long. Tall, long, lean guys. Reminds me of a lot of guys you see in the MAC conference out west. Marion Local, Coldwater, Versailles, St. Henry, Minster. They look like these guys.
If you are tuned in to the social media right now on YSN, we're going to kindly ask you to head on over to ysnlive.com as we finish our broadcast here. And you can catch the full broadcast on ysnlive.com/live on all 4 games tonight. Division 2, Division 3, Division 4, and Division 5. For Chris Colucci, Andy Hake, Gary Altizer, I'm DJ Oakley. We'll see ya on the network.
Oh, yeah.